Hey, everyone coming in. Yeah, Lisa, I'm proud of you. I've been thinking about all of you guys quite a bit the last couple of days. I got a little update on where I've been or why I wasn't able to follow through with doing a live stream yesterday or today. I'll hold off for a couple of minutes. I hope everybody's doing okay. Hey, Sleuth Mom, good to see you. Made it through yesterday, still laying around all day today. That's what you have to do, Lisa. You have to just take your time, be kind to yourself. All the time, be kind to yourself. Things have been kind of rough over here medically. I'm kind of on standstill with doctors. I'm not sad. I'm just like in quite a bit of pain. My doctor called some stuff in. I gotta keep a close eye on vitals and all of that stuff. I've had a really, really bad headache off and on, and now it just seems to be constant, like it won't go away. My head's numb. I think it's like the first time I've been a little scared of the whole aneurysm thing, the whole blood clots everywhere, just a lot going on. But late last night, it kind of got me. I talked to the doctor today a couple times. Ouch, it's been rough. I've been getting emails from people, and I read them when I'm able to see pretty clearly, when my head's not pounding. Hey, Monroe. Well, we're not there yet. So far, my vitals are okay. I don't have to go there, but gotta keep an eye on it. It's the whole aneurysm thing is just like super scary. But no, I'm not in the hospital. I'm at home. They're trying to schedule something. I have to go. I have to go to a hospital because it's a railroad injury. It's a work injury. It's like a whole nother. It's like a whole nother mess. Unless it's an emergency, I can go local. It's not there yet. But there's been a lot of people going through a lot of stuff right now, and I'm getting emails and I'm reading them when I can. I just don't want people to think I'm avoiding them. I've been on YouTube a little bit here or there, a couple times today, like passing the time. But I just didn't want people to think I was avoiding, for any reason. I don't like when I say I'm going to do something and then I'm not able to do it. And that's kind of what happened. The last live stream, I had plans on, several days in a row, and then I just gradually started with this headache I can't get rid of. It gets worse. I get blurry vision, black spots, all of that stuff. So far, everything's okay. It's just painful. The headaches are painful. But there's people that are, Lise, it's been, where did that comment go? It's been a mess between the railroad doctor and my doctor. Have to agree on everything. And when they don't, then it comes down to being some type of an emergency. It's just stupid. It's just really dumb. But the last 3 or 4 hours has been off and on. But I'm not being a crybaby about it or nothing. I just didn't want people to think I was ignoring their messages. I'm reading them. Some of them are heart-wrenching. Some people are reaching out for the first time, and I'm happy that they're talking. And I don't want anyone to think I'm not reading them or that I'm avoiding them or I'm not replying for any reason other than that I just physically can't right now. I've been laying in bed all day. I went to the post office this morning, and then I went to my local doctor and then the hospital for blood work and scans. And then I've been home in bed ever since. Yeah, Biden, he won't let the railroads go on strike, forcing my union brothers and sisters to work under inhumane work conditions. I know that sounds like whiny bitch, but it's not. My brother texts me every time he gets called out. Texts me when he stops, texts me when he gets to the other end, and he's just nonstop. The government is only concerned about themselves. They won't allow a strike. They won't sit down to the table. Now they're shorting their pay. They're calling the request for a strike. Basically, they're calling it a breach of the work agreement, even though there hasn't been a work agreement for several years now because the railroad and the government are hand in hand. And so, yeah, those guys on trains right now are really suffering. Their families are really suffering. And it's just bad. Yeah, it's absolutely not right. Biden, most of his campaign was talking about being pro-union. And a lot of people think union means people are paid a lot of money for a little bit of work, and that's just not the case. When it comes to the railroads, the government has too much control. Things like how much they get paid, how much time off they get. Yeah, the unions are supposed to protect the workers. Well, They're not doing that today. They're definitely not doing that today. It was pretty telling a couple of years ago when Class 1 railroads laid off almost 60% of their workforce for the guys on the ground, engineers, conductors, maintenance away guys, car department, all the guys that actually their jobs are necessary for the railroad to run. They hey, speak for those who can't. It's good to see you. They cut all the workforce. Well, our union dues are what pay the union officials' wages, and it was just pretty telling to know that more than 50% of the transportation department alone was cut from every Class 1 railroad across the country. But these people's incomes have not faltered. They're still making their millions of dollars. It's pretty telling. And the sad part is it's in the contract with with all Class 1 railroads that you have to be a part of a union. So everybody's kind of getting fucked over right now. It's disheartening, frustrating, aggravating. It's pretty fucking shitty. I'm gonna agree with you. Boy, I'm gonna agree with you on that. I pay more attention to what's happening with the railroad than I do any other political topic right now, simply because people don't understand how quick the country will shut down if the railroads don't run. Railroads and truckers keep the country moving, but railroaders are being forced into the position of having to go to work. If they don't, I'll just give you an example. Got you, Voice for the Voiceless. Good to see you. An example of how things operate on the railroads today. The day of my accident, I reported the safety concern. And the train master in the tower come back on the radio and said, "Are you refusing to do your job assignment?" And that's how they got themselves into this shit mess right now, because that's the attitude. They laid everybody off prior to the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit and the government handed out money for being critical to the infrastructure of the country, grocery stores, bank tellers, hospital workers, most definitely, most trucking companies, delivery services, anything medical. God knows they deserve it. But they were all given in addition to their payroll for working under pandemic, critical, emergency, whatever you want to call it. Railroads were also given the same thing, but not one employee received it. The railroads kept it, added it to their hedge funds. So we were forced to work with COVID repeatedly over and over and over. A lot of guys have scar tissue on their lungs. They have chronic respiratory problems. They couldn't be around their families. It's been really bad on the railroads. So I'm keeping a close eye on it. I'm going to do what I can to improve the situation, to bring awareness to it as soon as I'm legally able to. I'll have a whole nother channel about it. And there's several people already lined up wanting to tell their stories. But in the meantime, there's only so much I can really talk about. Just, it's good to keep an eye on what's going on and know if you live anywhere near the railroad tracks where Class 1 railroads are running freight, those long trains, you might want to talk to your local legislation about evacuation, chemicals, hazmat, derailments. You might want to look into that stuff, because there's train derailments every day and they're not even put on the news. Same thing's going with our military right now. Our veterans, for some reason, we've got Tons of people given free housing and free electricity and free water and free everything, and we've got veterans on the street. We have actual heroes of the country on the streets. They can't afford a meal. They're dying. It's a winter time. It's going to get worse because we just have a government that caters to some, but not the ones that are important, like our veterans. When it comes to the railroaders, these guys are working exhausted. They've had, oh, Rena, I'll catch you up here in just a minute. They're working exhausted. They're working hungry. They're working without sleep. They're working without any time with their families. I'm not exaggerating this. They're being forced to work with no days off. Their vacation days are being denied. Their personal days are being denied. They cannot mark off sick. They cannot. Listen, I talked to a woman the other day whose baby, not child, baby, has a rare cancer, is in the hospital. And they were given their notice. This baby's going to die. While she's there trying to make important decisions, trying to be the best mom she can be for the time that she has left with her baby, her husband was put in the position by his boss to either go to work or lose their insurance. Without insurance, the hospital will not continue care up to hospice or something like that. It's getting bad. I don't know much about a lot of other industries because I've been in the railroad industry for way too long, but I know too many people pulling out from the wagon and not enough people pulling the wagon. The wheels fall off. My brother alone, 25, 26, 27 years, 28 years, however long it is, never missed a day of work, never marked out sick, never left early, never, because he has a strong wife at home who they made the decision. He wanted her at home because of the demands of the job. She's raising the family, doing a phenomenal job. And he can't get a day off for anything. They have to work 6 days in a row to get 2 days off. So dispatchers purposely hold them over the away from home terminal for 24 hours just so they don't get those days off. It is basically have exhausted crews on trains that are double the length, going over rail that's not been inspected, hauling freight cars that are in need of repair. And when something goes wrong, the railroads blame it on the crew, which is not the case 99% of the time because the laws are federal and there's cameras inside of those cabins, inside of the locomotives. There's cameras at the crossings. Can't get away with anything at work anymore like you used to. We used to have fun, but not anymore. So I want you, if you know a railroader right now, I don't care if they're not a class 1 railroader. I don't care if it's their first day. I don't care if they're ready for retirement. If you know a railroader right now, show them some respect. Let them know that you know how difficult the job is, what they're sacrificing in order to provide for the people that they're responsible for. Maybe help their family out a little bit. Maybe shovel some snow, mow some grass. Maybe go to a kid's game. Maybe go to a doctor's appointment. Just something. Because what my brothers and sisters on the railroad are going through right now is fucking nothing short of hell. They're being killed because of the unsafe work conditions. They're being injured. They're losing arms and legs. It's worse than it was in the fucking 50s. All for government greed, corporate greed, hedge funds. That's what it all comes down to. If you know a railroader, hug them. Let them know that you know how bad shit is right now, because it's bad and it's only going to get worse now since our government has decided that we can't strike. We're the only, besides the military, our great military forces who deserve nothing but a life of luxury after their duty. After their duty time is over, you got the railroad, to the best of my knowledge. There might be a couple of other, I'm not sure, but they're suffering greatly right now. It's dangerous. I know more people that are injured than I ever have in almost 20 years. And the government today saying, nope, you can't strike, and no, we're not going to sit down to the table with you right now, is like the worst slap in the face. The worst. I have a plan to do the best that I can do to leave that seat that I've sat in for 20 years better than it was when I sat in it. I've got a plan to protect those behind me when they're injured. I've got a plan to do the absolute best I can do to make it a safer work environment. But I've got some time to go before I can do it. That's right, Val. We were several times now over the last few months, we were given the dates to strike. And the thing of it is that the railroaders don't want to strike for very long because we know it'll shut the country down. Literally, it will shut the entire country down. So we don't want to do that. We just want to cost the railroad the money that they've cost us, that they've taken from us, that they've stolen from us, force us to work with COVID under pandemic conditions, carry around freaking paperwork signed by the governor and the president, forcing us to go to work with COVID, passing it back and forth. And then all of that critical infrastructure money, the railroads kept. No extra health care benefits, no days off to go to the freaking doctor. Another pandemic is allegedly going to hit us, and here we are again. 14, 16-hour days, 7 days a week. They find ways to fuck you out of your days off. It's just miserable. It's the heart of the winter, so it's worse. But I don't want to go too far into that because, man, I guess we fired up. They're so bad that they cut everybody's sick pay benefits. All of us that are injured, they cut everything. Cut our sick pay, they cut our medical, they cut everything. All for corporate greed. That's what it's all about. But I wanted to come on just briefly. I've had several emails, and absolutely, the more we work, the more money we make. And we're so used to being at work all the time that none of us really like more than a week off for vacation, because we're just used to being on the go and working nonstop. Just go, get it done. Speaking as an Army veteran, please don't worry about us as much. We have lots of vet organizations here who are like, yeah, they do so much for us. I'm helping fellow vets with their PTSD, which is, you're like an angel, you know. I wish there were more. I've been involved with Wounded Warrior of Ohio for the last 4 years now, and there's always more. When our country goes to war for decades, we got to take care of it. We got to take care of the people that took care of us. People are just worried about themselves. We should be able to strike. We absolutely should. I went to the pharmacy to pick up prescriptions today for like blood clots and, you know, whatever. And, you know, like, well, the insurance isn't going to cover it anymore. I'm like, what? A whole bunch of phone calls tomorrow to find out what the fuck's going on. But They just would rather we be dead and, you know, toss some money to a family member than to actually do the right thing after trying to kill me. They're just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Offer like how much money is enough, you know? Somebody talks to me about money, I'm like, what good are you going to do with it? Not, you know, are they going to put underprivileged kids through college? Are they going to feed the hungry? Are they going to provide housing to single parents? Are they going to build um, addiction services to help with the addiction that has, all across our country, killing our youth, killing our sick, killing our veterans? What are they going to do? Like, what are they going to do with all of this money? Nothing. And they can't take it with them when they die. They can't. But I came on because I had a good day yesterday. And then late last night sometime, this headache hit me. And it was like right behind the eyes on my left side of my face. My jaw started hurting. Back of my head started hurting. My neck started hurting. My shoulder, my arm, everything started hurting. But the headache would not go away. Went to the doctor, called the doctor this morning, went to my local hospital for blood work, for some scans. Doc called me back, go to the pharmacy, pick up these prescriptions. I went up there, had that fiasco, came back home, laid down. I know the aneurysm has grown. Doctor told me that it's bigger than it was, 3-4 weeks ago. So I got to keep checking my blood pressure and my heart rate and my oxygen level. So the pharmacist gave me that stuff. Insurance paid for that. How about that? But not anything else. So since the migraine headaches keep coming and going, like the whole left side of my head is numb. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. All the way through my gums. Like my teeth on my left side of my head feel sore. It's so weird. They feel numb. Like pins and needles, comes and goes. But that's why I'm not replying to emails. And I didn't go live yesterday or today because I could feel it coming. I just, I thought maybe I was just getting a little too mad or something. But I'm not mad about anything, really. We'll discuss it with Dolly. I'm extra disgusted with Mallory. I can't let myself even think about that right now because it really rages me. I was in Hondo's chat earlier. I have a new troll account, Hondo's Heine. I told him about it. If you guys don't know Hondo, you're missing it. I was in, that's what I thought too. But it goes back to the railroad saying, nope, we cut your insurance and your sick pay benefits and everything else. So it has to be an emergency. I have to either have an aneurysm rupture or vitals be whatever numbers they want them to be, and then they'll take me in the hospital. Like even my lips feel swollen. I turned my camera on, but it's bad. Yep, I told him in his chat, and he said, Val, I'm gonna type it out, show you what I typed out. I said, this is my first troll account. No, my second troll account. I made a new troll account. This is what I typed out. And I'll tell you how he read it. Ouch. And he said, I made a new troll account today. Hondo's Henny? What's that mean? Henny? What's Henny? I was like, oh my gosh. So Irish Steve-O and I typed it in, and he still didn't get it. God bless his loving heart. I love him. He's like the biggest big brother in the whole world. I mean, can you believe that shit? Like, what the hell? He didn't get it. Val, I want to show you something too. And I said this the other day, but I finally got it back. Yeah, ain't that crazy? I love him too. You know what I do? I troll him, but he ain't figured it out yet. Oh, thank you. Speak for those. Um, he ain't figured it out yet. So the other day when I was telling you guys about Vinny G, um, how amazing he has been and what he has been doing for me lately. So I had to send in the photos, or I sent this, no, this photo in, added, these were already here. And these are all of his sponsors. And so on all of their graphics, this is what they put. So whenever they have the team stuff, whenever they do like the banners and on the side of the semis and their bikes and all of that stuff, these are Cody's main sponsors. And so I added this one right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me zoom into it. But I added this right here. Vinny G, at Vinny G1, the music man and master of trolls. Because I just think the world of Vinny. I think he is amazing. So I sent in the picture, and this, they put it all together with all of his regular sponsors, the Moto Mom Association. And then this is what they use for his in memory of, which is, I love that they do. I love that they do that. But I thought it was pretty fitting considering how Vinny's really been helping me get through some stuff lately. Yeah, I do too. Hey, Bella Michelle, good to see you. Girl, let me tell you, from the very beginning, they have been impossible to deal with. They've been absolutely impossible to deal with. My brother would have to be here to confirm the story of what they've put me through or refused to do. Because if I sat here and told you, you wouldn't believe me. You would not believe me. I absolutely love Vinny G. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been able to get through all the stuff that I've been doing without him playing music throughout the night. Hey, Valerie Ventura, good to see you. Yeah, for sure. They're good people. They're very good people. I appreciate them to pieces. I think the world of them. They've been great people. Oh, I want to show you guys something else too. Jenny Jen just posted this. Val, if you're not busy, maybe you can, I'll drop this. If you're not busy, don't feel pressured. I hate doing this. I hate putting people on the spot like that. If you're not busy and you don't care to, I want people to know about this troll awards, or yeah, I think that's what they're called. The troll awards. I'm gonna play this for you guys because I want you guys to vote. Because we all wanna kick the people that are the biggest effing assholes out here. So let me play this from Jenny Jen. Let me drop the link here. It's kind of fun, but also kind of call out. Here's a link to this. Let me play this. So there's the link for that. Yeah. I dropped the link for that for anybody who wants to go and participate in that. I think it's funny. Like I said, it's a good way to call people out. And then I also want to show people this. We're always talking about tragedy pimps out here begging and demanding and scheming for money and stuff. So Savage and the ship came up with a pretty good plan here's Val. How you doing, girl?
Hey, I hope my mic ain't too loud. I'm a
No, not
loud
at all.
person, girl.
You're good. You're good. You're good. I just showed Jenny's video
Yeah, yeah. Troll words are
for the.
always fun.
Yeah,
They're
I think
always
this year's
fun.
going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, you need to get over and nominate.
I
Nominate.
did. I did. The funniest. I put Shannon down. I put Savage's Halloween party, and I put Shannon down for the gray bush. I don't know a damn thing that's going to beat the gray bush. I just don't. I don't know a single mother effer out here. Hey, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
I don't know. That troll of that was Mike, Maryland Mike, that got into it with Blowhorn Betty up there, and over there in Idaho. That might be a good troll.
Oh, that was good too. That
I
was a
mean,
good
that's all.
troll.
Look, that's all the way over in the real crime. They're like some dude named Marilyn Mike.
Yeah.
Right,
Did you
Carlos?
see? Did you see where the glarer called Bullhorn Betty and trolled the fuck out of him?
They do it again?
No, this was from a couple months ago, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing you do that.
Okay. Because, oh my
Yeah.
God, that was amazing. That was
See,
good.
I look. I think if you go back and listen to it, I think he kind of sounded like Dolly. You know,
Maybe. You with the
if
accent,
you
yeah.
yeah, if you go back and listen to it and look at her face.
Oh, yeah. You're
Yeah,
right. She was kind of giddy.
giddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very
Yeah.
giddy,
Oh yeah,
which
she
is,
thought. Yeah. Oh
she thought
yeah.
she was talking to Dolly. Nasty effer.
Good Lord. Girl, reach higher, Betty. Reach higher.
For sure. No standards.
Way higher, Betty. Way
Yeah.
higher.
Like she's taller than him.
Dang,
She's like,
you know,
she's a lot taller than him, I think.
I'm talking about as far as a class of a person. Ugh.
Yep. That says a lot about her. That's her.
Yeah. It's
That's
like,
her level
girl.
of, yeah. I got you, sweet pea. Me too. I'm not going to be on long. Have a good night, though. And thank you. I appreciate you very much. Guys, Savage has a really good thing going on here. Instead of giving your money to tragedy pimps, you can mail toys and you can do it through Amazon even. So you don't have to leave your house. Here is send an unwrapped gift, ages 0 to 12, to P.O. Box 95. I don't know how to say it. It's Macclesfield, North Carolina,
Uh-huh. Macclesfield, North Carolina.
27852. Here's the address for that. Instead of giving your money to people on here, send it
Yeah,
to,
she's asking that or go in person, and either way you want to do it. But
yeah.
their goal this year is to take their granddaughter, because she's old enough to start that tradition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's the goal for her this year.
She's such a sweet person, Savage is.
You would think it, girl. When she gets mad, she gets mad.
She was on one last night. She was on it last night. She was cussing everybody.
Yeah, she was cussing people out that didn't deserve it. I'm going, oh my gosh. Then
I
she's like,
think
uh
she
oh.
was,
Sorry,
yeah.
Veronica.
I
Didn't mean
think
to
it's a
do
lot of
that.
the, she did. That's right. I forgot about that. She did.
Poor Veronica. She was like, I didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Val said, if you don't want to send anything like through Amazon or whatever, just contribute to your local Toys for Tots.
Yeah, do something good. Do something, you know.
Yeah,
If you got
provide
a
a meal.
grandchild or a child, or let them go with you, and
Yes.
get them started.
Most police departments have a tree with needy families that can use food
Oh yeah,
vouchers, help.
your local.
Yep.
I think Toys for Tots, I believe they're in all the Walmarts, aren't they? Don't they have a Christmas
Mm-hmm.
tree in all the Walmarts?
Yep, they got a Marine standing there. Um,
Hmm.
yep, they damn sure do. But just guys, do something good with your money. If you have it in your heart to help. I
Yeah,
know,
get it off of
I
here.
hope.
Just get it off of
Yes.
here.
Yes. Nobody
Some
on
of
here
these
needs your
people,
money.
yeah, nobody here needs your money. These people on here, they've made enough money off these babies.
That's right. And at least
It's,
know that you're doing something good with your money. Here, you don't
uh,
know. You
you
do
don't
not know
know.
what's being done.
It's sickening to give money and then 6 weeks later find out. Oh my gosh. You
Yeah,
know,
I've been
it's
there,
so
man.
sickening. So sickening.
I have so fucking been there. Here's some other exciting news.
That's what I heard. I got a phone call. Somebody said you better
Yep.
turn your TV on. I said, what?
He also got served.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah,
Oh. Was he out
yeah.
yet?
I don't know if he's out yet, but I know he damn sure did get served for that
Mm-hmm.
other court date that's going on. He got
Mm-hmm.
served. So he's justice will be coming for
Hey
Dolly.
y'all.
Oh shit, that's
Yep.
loud, ain't it? Justice will be coming. Oh, I don't want to play all of that. Justice will be coming for Mr. Dolly. Dolly, who is nobody special. So tell us how, because there's a lot of us.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, you're Aria. Aria, you're perfectly fine to cuss Dolly all the way up and down in this chat anytime, any day of the week. I hate the motherfucker. I hate him. And what he's doing is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I've sat with
Absolute.
many women. I've sat with many women that's been a
Yeah.
victim of his. Mm-hmm.
Guys, there's women coming out every day talking about sexual violence, talking about potential or attempted sexual violence.
Mm-hmm.
There's,
We were stunned. Like we were, we
yeah,
were, we were, we were so stunned. That people
yeah,
started contacting us, and I mean, what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that?
right. Especially because he's got his little fierce army of people that are on the attack for anybody
Right.
who's speaking out against them, and they're going real life and really, really fucking with people's lives. I
Yeah,
sent
they are.
those cameras out this morning to
Oh, did
Savage.
you? Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. When I went
Well,
to
in fact, that was funny because, like I said last week, I was telling her you need some with this group, you know.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So,
Yep. And the DVR box, I looked it up. I mean, it'll hold 30 days
mhm,
nonstop of recording on all four cameras. And you can rewind it, you can clip it, you can save it to a thumb drive. You can
mhm.
you can also access remotely if you choose the Wi-Fi option.
Well,
Um,
there's been people say, "What's the big deal? She's doxed herself out." Well, here's the big deal. It's not necessarily who's doxing him out, right? It's
mhm.
who is seeing the docs go out.
Right,
Like
and
there's some really weirdo people on here,
yeah, and
you
she
know.
didn't dox her granddaughter. She
Right.
might have said her name or something like that, but
Hmm.
she didn't dox her granddaughter's information, and that's when I'm lividly pissed off.
I mean, we could look.
Like,
We could literally write a book of the people that we've come across here on YouTube.
oh,
Just
you guys could do it.
holy
Yes, you can.
cow. I
You could
mean,
write the book and sell it with the stories that you guys have been through with these people.
and people are good. I mean, they're good. They're really good at what they do. And, you know,
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
It's
it's not the fact. It's not the simple fact of who's the doxing. It's who's watching. And
exactly.
and it was just appalling that mothers females partook in that. Like, I would never do that to somebody's child like that.
Oh God, no. Intentionally
Mm-mm.
doing that.
Mm-mm.
So I was saying the other day, like, we can put any pictures that we want to out there 10 years
Mm-hmm.
ago even, and
Mm-hmm.
today is not even 2 years ago. So whenever we've got people who are looking for people's information, specifically children, it
Mm-hmm.
takes a special dumbass who has nefarious intentions. Like, what's the intention for posting photos, names, addresses for a 3-year-old child?
Uh,
That's, I went in his chat under a troll account and said that. What's the
well,
intention?
my thing is this: why would I mean, like, why would you? Like, yeah,
Right.
sure, addresses are out there. Yeah, addresses are out there, but why?
Right.
I mean,
Whether it's done as a scare tactic or not, you did it. So whatever happens as the result of it is your
right,
fault.
right.
That's why I try to get, there's a group of people that were kind of doing the same thing to me for almost a year now. And I'm like, you can say that you didn't email people, but you put my information out there. So it's your
Mm-hmm.
fault that it happened. So to put Savage's granddaughter on the internet with her name and her location, putting the call out for people to find her,
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens is on Dolly's hands and he won't survive
Mm-hmm.
it. It will
Yeah.
not happen.
Well,
Even the threat.
it's just like we told you. The only reason we come out with him is we're mostly a community of women.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
and then we had all those other women coming out to us. I mean, there were women we talked to that they didn't even want to go public. They were scared to death.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
And yeah, so we're thinking, well, heck, what's going on behind the scenes? I mean, we
Yeah.
gotta let our community know.
It's exactly what
Yeah.
I thought. Why are these people so afraid? Like,
Well, I'm
what's the
just amazed
fear?
at the people that will do it. Look, a good creator is not going to ask you to do such a thing for them.
That's right.
They're just not.
That's right.
They're not going to put their people in danger like that. They're not going to risk their people's livelihoods, and they're just not going to do that.
That's right. There's no way. And there's no
Mm-hmm.
justifying it. Or when you ask them, what's the intention for even putting that baby's name? And they're stumped. They're just like, how do you answer that without sounding like a piece of shit?
Because there is
Feeling
no, I mean, there is no
guilty.
good reason for it.
Yeah, none. Like, let me show you. Let me see if I can find it quick. Because I'm on top of this shit now. I promise you that. I'm so on top of this stuff. Let me show you. Let's see. I know. Um, I know Burden of Proof covered this story. There was I believe he's from Virginia.
Mm.
Virginia police officer killed it almost an entire family.
Oh man.
Catfished a girl. Yep, here it is. Okay, it's from NBC News. Let me play this.
Okay.
This is fucking insanity.
It
An
is.
example of how
It's
far people will
I just
travel.
don't. I know. It's like, man, can everybody just be cool?
Right.
Just
Some people should be kicked off the fucking internet, honestly. This
they
is a
can't handle.
short. No, and they're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
This is a short, so it's just a little bit of context here, but I'll drop the link. It's all over the news right now.
Out home, a teenager abducted, a law enforcement officer killed in a shootout, and 3 beloved community members dead. Police now say that 28-year-old Austin Lee Edwards, a former Virginia state trooper who'd most recently been working with the local sheriff's department, drove more than 2,000 miles to meet up with a teenage girl. Investigators say he'd obtained her personal information by deceiving her with a false identity online. That's known as catfishing.
What we do believe is while he was contacting her online and digitally, that he was portraying to be a younger age, probably a teenager.
According to police, Edwards killed the girl's mother, Brooke Winnick, and grandparents Mark and Sherry Winnick, and set their home on fire.
Gosh.
Then he fled the scene with the girl, who officials say appeared distressed. Sheriff's deputies tracked him down and shot him dead after he opened fire. The girl survived and is now in protective custody. Burnt out home.
Look at the date on this.
What's the date on it? I can't see it. Is that November
November.
29th? Wow.
Yep, November 29th. This is still kind of going on. And so that's why I did that stream the other day about what.
Well, you know, there's a documentary out called, I believe it's called Tall Blonde.
Mhm.
You ever seen that documentary?
No,
the
I'm
guy,
looking it up.
the man that was basically, he was pretending to be younger, and then he was talking to some young girl, right?
Hmm.
But he was really an older gentleman who was married, family. Well, come to find out, he thought he was talking to this young girl, but really he was talking to the young girl's mother.
Oh God.
But not until, you know, it didn't all come out until he went to this guy's place of employment and murdered him because he was flirting with this girl online.
Oh my God. Is it this one right here?
I think it's called Tall Blonde. They even made a movie about it and everything. But the documentary's pretty good. But, you know, it's just like, holy cow, like that was a really twat list. I mean, there's some
Oh
crazy
yeah.
fools out there, man, using their kids' pictures and pretending to be them and
It's right here. It
nonsense.
says based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drop that in the chat too.
Yeah,
Real
there's
quick.
a movie, and then there's also the documentary. I think the documentary you might have to rent in, I believe, but it's a pretty good documentary. But you can see the manipulation back and forth. You know, just
Oh yeah.
she meant, you know, he was I want to say he was a ex-Marine, and she was you know, playing mind games on him.
Oh
You know,
wow.
yeah, it came out to be that girl's mother
Oh
that was
wow.
playing mind games on him. In the end, it was not even her; it was the mother. It's just
Here's a
insane.
documentary on it.
That's just too much energy for me, y'all. That is
It
just too
is.
much energy for me.
It is very. Yeah, it's a lot. There's
That,
a new real life series on, I think it's on Oxygen, the Oxygen Network, that there's female police officers that pose as young girls,
right.
and they catch people doing, you know, with terrible intent, with like really
Yeah.
bad intention. But that's why I get so pissed off. Like, I think about it like this. This is how it goes through my head. So this guy was a cop, traveled across the country to meet what he thought was a 15-year-old girl, killed her
Well, you know,
family.
they travel. You know, they have these predators travel. They don't stay in their
Yep.
little old own hometowns. They travel way out to meet these
Yep.
little girls or little boys. Yeah.
Yep. They do not shit in their own backyard, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They travel. So imagine how the dark web works when it comes to child pornographic material,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of money. I happen to know that there's people around us that have been involved in this shit since 2005 that have made so much money they haven't had to have a legitimate job. I think that they don't have to pay taxes.
Well, I know that Savage and I talked about, you know, when the Super Bowl comes around the Super Bowl time for the month of January, we're wanting to do an awareness on human trafficking. The Super Bowl is the highest
Yeah,
day of the year for human trafficking, and nobody really realizes it. We want men to step up.
absolutely.
You know, we want
Hmm.
men to step up. You
Let me
know,
show you. I've had this saved. I'm glad that you mentioned it because I've had this saved for about 3 months now. And I've watched it a handful of times. But because you said that, let me show you this. just so people know that you know what you're fucking talking about right now,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
people act like we say stuff because we're over paranoid. But this, let
Mhm.
me show you the date on this, y'all. 10 months ago.
And we do hear these warning bells ahead of things like the Super Bowl because of the influx of visitors and crowds. And California is considered especially vulnerable because it's so close to airports, international borders, has a high immigrant population. But there are people who work to prevent trafficking every day who say we need to be focused on this year round, not just around big games.
Mhm.
Excitement around the Super Bowl is palpable with the big game less than 3 weeks away. But that also means preps are underway to make sure it's safe.
We absolutely prepare for big events, whether that's the Super Bowl, the Olympics, anything that is big going on in our cities. We make sure that we are beefing up operations.
Carol Chang is the Senior Director of Global Driver and Courier Operations for Uber. They're staffing up their public safety team, handing out these tags to drivers in the Los Angeles area with the national and local hotlines to report suspected trafficking, and blasting drivers nationwide with what to look out for.
What kind of a responsibility does Uber have in making sure the traffic?
So it's about 5 minutes long, but you get the gist of it. I
Mhm.
dropped
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
link
It's the
in the chat.
highest. It's the highest human trafficking days of the Super Bowl, and I just
Yep.
don't get it. Like if there was no demand, there would be no need for this.
That's right.
You know, and
And
I'm kind of, I wish men would say, hey,
mhm.
we have daughters, we have sisters, we have, we well, this has got to stop. I mean, this is gross.
Yep.
This is not what it, because men kind of have that attaboys,
Mhm.
the attaboy mentality,
Yep. They sure do.
and that, I
Have
sure
you guys?
wish, I
Yeah, we
sure
need
wish
more
they
men
would
to
say,
stand up.
we need more men to stand up and look at these men like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you don't even know if that
Yep.
girl is here on her, because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't understand human trafficking, right? They think, well,
Right.
she's here, she's at free will. No, you don't understand.
Right. They think
I've
she's
got,
drunk. She wants it.
yeah, I've got a, you and I talked, and I've worked with children for many years,
Mhm. Mhm.
and one of my girlfriends called me, and she worked with youth. She worked with youth too, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna believe where I was all day." And I said, "Well, I can guess." But come to find out, two of her students, like when college football game days rolled around, their own
Mm.
mother was dropping them off to pay the light bill.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she said, "I've been with the state all day."
Oh my
I mean,
God.
yeah,
That
yeah,
just makes my stomach turn
yeah.
on a
That's
whole
what I'm
nother level.
saying. And if there was no demand, they wouldn't need no
Yes.
supplies. Supply. Yeah, I mean, why? It's the demand that's pushing it.
And
The
you know,
demand.
this group right here called Operation Underground Railroad. I've been subscribed to them, watching their content for the better part of 2.5, 3 years now. This guy's name is crap. It just went right out of my head as soon as I was talking. He was law enforcement, and then he was border patrol, and then he started his own group. Shit, I cannot think of his name right now. Gosh dang it. It'll hit me in a minute. But they have gone all over the country, and they do documentaries now to show people that America, our country, is the leading country
Yes.
for people that travel to other countries seeking out children. And now we've had open borders for so many people for so long that these people are in our country. They don't have to go overseas anymore. They don't have to go to other countries. We have open borders. Tim is his first name. I'm trying to think of his last name. But these are actual documentaries, interviews with some of the survivors. We talk about online relationships, stranger danger, grooming apps that are bad. They show the places that they've been to. The most recent documentary that they put out is really eye-opening because it shows how government is not always on board with what they're doing. It's called Sage's
What,
Prayer.
I really wish people, I really wish they would take the politics part of that and really stop and look
Mm-hmm.
at the situation. Like when you have children, it doesn't matter if it's female or male, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's children or adults, right? When you have people pouring over the border and they're not even documented, let me tell you something. This is you can go lost in this country and nobody ever know it.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and the documentation is not necessarily to hold them up. It's a safety feat. I mean, it's about safety and where they, they can just disappear. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Absolutely. 100%. It
And
happens all the
I
time.
really wish people would, say, wait a minute, left or whichever side you set. This is nuts when you start really thinking about why we do need the documentation with them coming over. We do.
We absolutely do. We absolutely do. We need documentation. We need to know where they're going to be at. We need background checks. We need all of this stuff. What
Mm-hmm.
you were just talking about with the Super Bowl, I found the video. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to show everybody. What Val's talking about is real life truth. 6 months ago, missing North Texas teen found being sold for sex in Oklahoma City. She was kidnapped right out of the girls' bathroom. She went to the Super Bowl with her dad, and she had tickets to go to the Super Bowl with her
Yeah. I remember that
picked her up
story.
at the airport. They finally found her, and it was the Super Bowl. It's
So we
happening.
do. We're in a society where, we kind of say we don't need men. No, we do. We
We
need
do.
everybody.
Absolutely.
We need everybody to do their part. Everybody to do their
Absolutely.
part. And but yeah,
Absolutely.
we need men to start stepping up and kind of putting that pressure on these men. That I mean, they know when men are going out doing this.
Oh yeah,
They know
yeah,
when men are going out doing this. I mean, I was raised around
absolutely.
boys. I know how they talk and carry on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got
And
6 brothers.
I really wish they'd start looking at them and go, man, why are you doing that for? Kind of putting that social pressure on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not acceptable. It's not
It's
acceptable.
not even close to it. It's dangerous. And when I was younger, I'm almost 50. When I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, it wasn't really a big deal on my MySpace page, to post my photo. Um, but today, like back then, I remember my parents knew every friend, where they lived,
Mm-hmm.
what sports they played in school, who their
Mm-hmm.
parents were, where their parents
They
worked.
even knew their animals. Oh,
Absolutely.
that's the Joneses pup over there.
Absolutely. 100%. And I was like that with my son, even traveling across the country, going to motocross tracks where people
Mm-hmm.
live all over the country. We knew who everybody was. But today, homes are more one person, like one parent family.
Right.
We have more people living in homes with men or women that are not like blood related to the
Mm-hmm.
child, step parents. We
Mm-hmm.
also have friends of parents. There's there's
Mm-hmm.
uh there's a lot more going on today than what there used to be going on. And parents, when you have a one parent income, you work a lot more hours. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of single moms, there's programs for college. There's so much that goes into this. But when it comes to posting photos, I got one last video about this because I think that it's a quick one because I think that it
Well, yeah,
epitomizes.
and when the internet started really getting big, I also think too, like we were adults and we kind of thought, well, we're the adult. You know what I'm saying? Like they left that
Mm-hmm.
impression, like you're the adult, so you have control and of what's going on with your children. So if you want to post your child's picture, it's your child. That's
Right.
safe. But in other words, we focused more on the children and that safety hazard than we did. We really should have been saying this goes for everybody, not just children. This goes
Absolutely.
Nobody's telling you you can or can't post your children online. We're just saying you need to be aware of what could happen if you do.
Oh,
You know.
100%. These people are out here looking for photos of children of all ages
Mhm.
for one reason. And like I said, Dolly and his brother, his friends, they're not going to be the ones rolling up to anyone's house, trying to snatch a kid. It's going to be they're going to sell it, and then nobody knows who's coming.
Right.
It's
I
scary to
know
think
that
about.
with my kids, I mean, I really busted heads with them, but I stuck to it. Like, I did not allow laptops and things like that in their bedrooms. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they did it, they had to sneak. At
Absolutely.
first we started with the one computer, and it was in a designated area where it was open. I could walk through at any moment. It was one computer. The whole family shared it. I could see anything I wanted to on it. And then, of course, as technology progressed, then it was, well, they need laptops for school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, it just becomes harder and harder. And if you're not a parent, just staying on that, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the school systems I was working in at the time, they were revamping their computer systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a meeting with them one time, and they were going on about they spent this millions of dollars to protect our children from pornography and free easy access to that kind of thing in school hours. And I started laughing, and they were like, "Why are you laughing for?" I said, "I could pull up anything I wanted to right now." And they were like, "No,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't. No, you couldn't." I said, "Yes, I can. Even with the systems you've got right now, I can do it."
Mm-hmm.
And I walked right over, right in front of the big wigs, leaned over, typed in www.youtube,
Mm-hmm.
and and I typed in something sexual, and sure
Mm-hmm.
enough, and they about died.
Oh yeah, there's
They
so
just
much
about
shit out
died.
here.
And that was in the school systems with the tech teams. They were just
That's
like,
crazy.
holy cow. Like I said, I'm telling you, there's so many apps out here. There's just so much that, you're going to have to just try to stay on top of it. Every app they've got coming out, you need to make a list and block all that. I mean, it was just, they about dropped their teeth because they had spent all of that money
Mm-hmm.
revamping that.
And you got around it the first time you
I
tried.
just walked right up, typed in a sexual phrase, and it popped right up.
Damn.
Right in front of
Dadgum.
right in front of the superintendent, head of technology, head of that company that we bought it from.
Mm-hmm.
And
God
I mean,
dang. I would have shit
yeah.
my pants too. Like right there, you
And
just typed it in, bam, right in their face. Wow.
yeah, I mean, it was like, you're fighting a beast here. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting a beast, and if you're not on top of if you don't start listening to what these kids are into, you're never going to be able to stay on top of it. If you just don't go
Right.
mosey over and see what's on these apps, you're never going to be able to stay on top of it. They're moving fast. These kids move fast.
They do it faster than what we do. I mean, have you ever, like,
Mm-hmm.
I can remember up until Cody passed away, no joke, he chose the phones that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't choose the phones. He set them up for me. And if I needed to know how to do anything, I was like, hey, how do I do this? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how to work Dropbox. I didn't know what Kick was. I had no idea what Snapchat had.
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat had a map, and that
Mm-hmm.
you have to physically go into the settings and turn that setting off.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't show up on a map. And with Snapchat, if you don't do that, everywhere you go, anybody
Mm-hmm.
who has that app, you show up on theirs.
Right. I
Like
mean,
it's
it's
designed
crazy.
for trafficking.
It's
It's
crazy.
designed for sexual assault, for predators. And the permissions, whenever your kid has a phone and they want to install an app, you should have the settings set so that they can't do that without a password or without you approving it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they bring it to you, you should look through the permissions on that app. If it
Mm-hmm.
wants access to the camera, to the microphone, to the recording, to internet, any of those things. You got to put the big picture together. And is it age appropriate? And then you got to say no. And first thing,
All right.
we have to teach our kids that they're worth more than any other possession, price, event, time, place, or thing. We have to, our kids have to know that there's nothing we would not do for them, and no one's going to love them. I have a saying, I never had a babysitter, ever, never. My ex-husband and I were the parents, and if we both had to work at the same time, or one of us had to go out of town, grandma came over. Because I would say, people were like, you don't want to go here, you don't want to go there. If I can't take my son, I'm not going. Because nobody watches your child like you watch your child.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody loves your child like you love your child. So daycares, they're paid to watch your child. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I'm saying if you don't do your due diligence and look into their record, look into their safety records, look into their reviews, go talk to your city officials and find out. Go to your health department, go to your child welfare services department, go to the places that have the information about the daycares and do your due diligence to find out there's people that have to have babysitters. I was fortunate that I didn't have to. But if you do your background checks. You can go to any police department where you live at and ask for what's called, I forget what it's called, but it's like if they're registered daycare in their home, you can go to the police department and ask for their like record, so to speak. If there's been any kind of criminal anything reported on them, they'll tell you. They might not tell you the details, but they'll say yes, there's something, or no, there's nothing. Ask the cops, where do their kids go? But we got to be more careful. Any photo. Let me play this real quick. Just a little bit of it to show you. It's kind of scary, but I'm going to keep doing this until people get it. I'm going to keep doing it. So Dolly understands what he fucking did, you dumb motherfucker.
It's unadvisable to post your kids. For reasons why I think it's unadvisable to post your kids on social media. Take a look at this and tell me what you think about it.
So you like it? Yeah. And did I do a good job? Yeah. Can you look here and do some poses so I can see it? Oh, that's pretty neat. I'm not super awesome at blue. It'll take me a while. Love you.
These are the creepy guys that are watching this video, leaving comments underneath of the video for mom and dad. When I first watched this, I thought that was Dolly.
It does look like you done it.
I sure did. When this first,
holy cow.
yeah, watch this. When it first pops up, tell me you don't think that's Dolly.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought it was Dolly. So all these guys start leaving these comments, encouraging this child whose mom, putting makeup. And it's not about sexualization it's not about sexual orientation or gender. It's not about any of that stuff.
Guys, this is Value for Viral. Welcome back to another video. Like I said, there are a couple of reasons why I think it's unadvisable.
Her mom posts lots and lots of videos, and they have 17.3 million followers on TikTok, which I had a hard time wrapping my head around. It's just videos of a toddler. What moms are noticing is how many times these videos of Ren are being saved. I'm not sure if you can actually see this when
she's talking about this right here. 10,000 saves on this video.
Like, why?
Exactly. People are saving it. Then Okay, this is going to be a little graphic. Got a little trigger warning going on, okay? This is why I hate Dolly Vision's fucking guts, and I will not stop until him and those like him are off this platform for good. Behind bars would be better, but they will fucking be gone before I stop what I'm doing.
Of a 3-year-old in a crop top has been saved 45,000 times. Ren eating a hot dog at a fair 375,000 times. Then people started noticing what happens when you
Did you see
save
this?
10,000.
Did you see this part?
375,000 times.
This woman took a video of her child eating a hot dog. Don't tell me that's not sexualized.
Yeah.
374.5 thousand saves. This is fucking disgusting.
But like the normal person wouldn't think nothing about it. They would just say, "Oh, look at that kid eating a hot dog," and scroll on,
Right.
and
Right.
scroll on. But there's
Yeah.
375,000 people that took the time to save it.
Yeah. It's the
That's
perverts out
weird.
here that are
That's
thoroughly
look,
enjoying
yeah,
this.
that is a football stadium times 2
Uh-huh.
of people.
It could be your neighbor and you wouldn't even know it.
I know it.
I mean,
Yeah, are you talking about Ren? That whole Ren situation?
what do you mean, Ren?
Well, that was this woman that basically did duets. Like she was on this is B10 by the way, did TikTok, and she would do these older men would do a duet with her, like I think like her 6-year-old girl or something like that.
No,
I don't know
just,
anything about
no,
that
they're
one.
they're just like randomly saving children pictures.
Yeah, but they also were doing duets with her. Like she would sing and then they would sing. It was like a weird duet that they would do, and the mother would allow that to happen. And it was like some just random people, like literally 30, 40-year-old men, like just singing along with this little girl, and while shirtless.
It's weird.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about that one. I just had found that video where it shows the guy is actually from another country.
Yeah.
And he's showing how, he sees those videos all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what I was showing. I haven't heard about that one though.
Yeah, it's also like there's like the pickle, like people were saving that, like the pickle thing, where there were images of like this little girl with like the pickle eating a banana,
wow,
stuff like that, and they were doing that on TikTok.
Weird.
Well, it's because they're chomos around. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just as simple as that. And the mother doesn't care because she's making money from it. So it's like Ren Eleanor is the mom that basically has this. I forgot the little girl's name, but if you look up like WREN Eleanor, you can actually. They talked about it like 3 months ago. It was like a big deal.
holy shit, B-Tim, check this out, y'all. I went to look it up. Let me show you what happened. He's not. I don't ever think B-Tim's lying. I love B-Tim, but I want to show you what happened. He said WREN. Look at what fucking popped up.
Yeah.
I could have been typing wrench. You know what I mean? Anything. And that's the first thing that popped up.
The
mom that made a TikTok page for pedophiles. Are you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
So she did this on purpose.
I don't think she's going to say she didn't do it on purpose, but, the money's good, let's just say. Because she was getting like millions of views. Like she was getting like tens of millions of views on TikTok.
I'm going to put this one in the link too. People can go watch this one. But wow.
Yeah, and I saw like the weirdest things, like literally full-grown men like singing duets with her.
Yeah, I just don't even show that baby's face on here.
Yeah, and it's just it's messed up.
Man. Well, I was watching a documentary the other day. I'm clipping parts of it to put to a video where it shows how the FBI uses photos to find trafficked victims and traffickers. They post a photo of a child like in a hotel room, and then they start looking at the things in the hotel room, find out what chain and then they start looking at where the chain's located. The most insignificant feature in a photo, a picture on a wall, a quote on a wall, a door handle, a specific type of beer that might be on a bed, a bed table or whatever.
Mhm.
And they have multiple sections, departments in our federal government that's what they do. They have to look at this horrendous material and then try to find these victims and traffickers all over the country.
Man, that's emotionally draining.
It is.
Well, they probably,
Absolutely.
I mean, like the people on like social medias that have to look through like all the stuff to make sure that certain stuff doesn't get posted. They like get like they get all stressed up. Like they're mentally messed up after a while because they have to look at the most messed up images ever.
Well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
They're forced time off, forced debrief counseling. They're forced all kinds of.
And the sad part about it is we need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to say, well, somebody's got to do it, but no, we need them.
Right. Absolutely. They're in hidden areas, like they rent houses for a year, and there's just, people, FBI agents in there looking in that state or that county or that, like the upper, part of a state or something, and they're in office buildings under the guise of they're everywhere. But the problem is that we have more traffickers and trafficked victims than we do law enforcement officials that are seeking to find them. Hey, Lisa, thanks for stopping in. It's very dangerous right now, and what Dolly has done is actually a federal crime.
Oh, you talking about what he did with Savage? Because he's done so
Yes.
many fucked up things. It's like there's a list of fucked up things this guy's done.
Yep.
Honestly, it's hard to. I mean, the only good news I heard today is he might go to jail. So that's the only good news.
Well, I promise you this: after it's done being investigated, if there's any proof that a photo of Savage's grandchild or anyone's child, any child, has been sent from his device to anyone else's device, you can bet your ass he's in fucking federal prison for a long time.
I hope he does, because the guy is just a despicable human being. Everything he's done in life is terrible. I can't find one good quality of him, honestly.
Not me neither. Me neither.
I mean, every person that's opened their heart up to him and helped him out, he's fucked over. He's a disgusting human being, and unfortunately, YouTube just keeps him on this platform so he can victimize more people.
It's amazing the people that just believe him. It's like they're using every excuse, just believing, and I'm thinking, man alive.
Yeah.
I think it's because his personality. So it works well with, a lot of people that come into the true crime are people that have suffered losses, and if someone just makes them smile and is familiar with them and is down to earth, people kind of get attracted to it, and then they think they get biased a little bit. They say, oh, this guy's a great guy. He makes me laugh. He's talking about the kids and all that. And then if you try to talk bad about him, then you're like the monster. You're trying to take down this good guy, and you try to show them all the bad things, and they'll just like justify it more and more in their heads. And they have to be screwed over until they actually find out the truth. That's how it is, unfortunately.
Let me tell you like this. He plays upbeat music, which puts people in a good mood. He tells a lot of jokes, and he's always laughing, even when it's fake, which also puts people in a good mood and makes people more comfortable. He rolls his joints and he smokes his weed online, which makes it appear like the psychology behind that is that he's an honest criminal. That's all he does is smoke a little weed. He comes out and says all the time that he's an open book. He's got nothing to hide. He don't lie. He talks about having all these other platforms and thousands of what he calls subs. He presents the room, which is welcoming, inviting, and trusting. And then he talks to his members and his moderators like they're his best friends.
Yeah.
Which makes people feel safe. Like if he's a good person, they're a good person, which makes people more open to, speak or chat.
Right. And I can tell you as a creator, that's that's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're
Yeah.
giving you that sense of that's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, how
You're
many
exactly right.
subscribers does he have now?
I think he has like 26 or something like that. I don't know.
He's
26,000.
blown
See what
up.
I'm saying? Like if he has
Yep.
1,000 people in that chat, now come on now. You
Um,
know,
I mean, what do you mean? Do you think he's like botting and stuff? or
as
something
in
like that?
as in having a personal relationship with people, like
Oh yeah,
friendships
I
and
mean, I remember I had this conversation with Sweet Tea. I was like, yo, you know, I mean, like they were talking about friends. I'm like, honestly, I'm acquaintances with you because I consider a friend like you can only have like 5, maybe 7 good friends in your life, like
right,
friends.
right.
I think a lot of people they just use the word friend loosely. I usually use the word like friendly acquaintances, stuff like that. You can't. I mean, like you can't be friends with 1,200 people or 10,000 people because the human brain can only remember about like what 120 people's names. So you know, even if you had the greatest memory in the world, you can't remember more than 120 people. And
Well, there's not enough time. Like there's just not enough time.
no.
You
And
know,
the
because
other-
I know that there's a lot of people, you know, a lot of our followers, believe it or not, that I would just love. I would love to be able to take the time, you know, and go visit them and see them, and there's just no way. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
and it's dishonest. I mean, like at the end of the day, I always think of like YouTube as you're on a stage and you're shouting to a crowd. You got a microphone, you're entertaining people, and
Right.
they agree with you or not agree with you. You're at the end of the day, you're either entertaining or educating or and making awareness. That's basically you're not their friends. You're not,
Right.
you know, you might feel bad for them if something bad happens, but if they get arrested, they're not going to call you. You know,
I don't
Right.
know.
maybe I don't know.
I don't know. The ship we're pretty tight over there.
Yeah, it's about the only place. Really,
Yeah,
that's
but
the only place on this platform I found people are that tight.
Yeah, I guess so.
pretty
I guess
tight
so.
over there. Like,
Look, this is what I found interesting about him when I was like researching and stuff. When you go to his videos and you click popular, R. Kelly gets beat down in prison 2 years ago, 49,000 views. Dolly speaks with executive producer of Ventures with Purpose, 22,000 views. But when you look at so he's got 26.3 thousand subscribers. When you go to his live streams, he's live right now, so he's out of jail. I'm gonna have to find out what the fuck
sad
happened with
day.
that.
You had to take.
I'm
you had to
sure
burst
he-
my.
I'm
you had
sure
to burst.
he's over there. Look, he's over there spinning like a Maytag wash machine.
Mhm.
Spinning the stories. Spinning the stories. That's it.
You had to burst
To
my
be the
bubble.
victim.
I thought he was still in jail. Now I'm gonna go to bed. It's sad. I was.
Well, he's
hoping
got to raise his money because he's got some more court stuff coming up.
new shirt line, free Dolly.
Yeah, right. But when you click on popular videos, let's look. Roy Jones Jr. So here's a fight, 72,000. Okay, look. Kylie Rodney, 55,000 views.
Yeah.
Leilani, 52,000 views. Kylie, 50,000 views. What I found out about Baby Q, blow your mind. This is when he's on location, so to speak. 41. He gets his views over the drama of the cases that he creates. We all know that.
Yeah.
But when you try to tell, like, a lot of his subscribers came from Ryan Upchurch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny because some of them I think so now a lot of Ryan Upchurch's subscribers don't even like him. So there's some that still don't like him.
Right. There's a lot of them that don't like him, but because they are, because they're familiar with him, then you type in Kylie Rodney whenever that case is going on, and he's one of the first ones to pop up. They're going to click on him because they're familiar with him.
Yeah, because he milked that case, man. He did like 60 lives, or something.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it's like I didn't like that guy. And the reason why we didn't talk too much about that guy at that time because we were too focused on like other people. But the guy was a real scumbag too, in that whole case. I didn't like him either. Honestly, the guy is just I don't know.
Hey, level-headed.
Well, you know what really gets me is I can't believe people cannot see like how the court systems work. Like getting arrested is just the beginning. I mean, it, as far as seeking justice for the victim, that's
Yeah.
just the beginning. And, and police will tell the people, do not be talking to people, and then you've got these people running around harassing these people. I mean, and then when you go in that courthouse, the battle's on. The battle is on.
Well, do you think like Dolly, who's got like probably like a 5th grade education, actually understands this concept? Like, I think you're giving him a little too much. He's like really dumb. Like, honestly, I'm shocked that he even got the job at 7-Eleven, to be honest with you, because there should be higher standards.
I mean, it's really not that deep of thinking once if you step back and look at it, it's not really that deep. Like, okay, if I talk to this witness here, I may mess up this case.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at JLR. He literally talked to a guy who's possibly linked to a murder on a YouTube video and gave him a heads up, basically. And now the guy's in, like, I don't even know if the guy's been arrested yet. Maybe he has. I don't know. But the guy was literally sleeping in the couch.
I've heard that excuse. Well, the news makes money on it. Well, the news, those people are also trained to know what to ask, and they work with law to know what to ask.
Yeah.
They knew exactly how to go in on Chris Watts the day he stood on that porch.
Yeah.
Talking
also,
about his wife.
Also, they don't become part of the story. They're just reporting the story. You know what I mean?
Right. They don't become the protest, the leader. Yeah. They don't become the leader of the protest. Oh, well, I didn't call that a protest. They don't become the leader of the lynch mob.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I tell people a lot. I believe that Leilani was guilty, but I wanted to wait until an actual arrest to happen.
Right.
I don't. You know what I mean? And these people just don't understand that, and they just think like, they just want to do things that make them feel good, and it's like, no, that's not how things should go.
Right.
Your feelings don't matter.
Yeah.
That's why justice is blind. You gotta just we gotta let the courts do what they have to do, and your feelings don't matter. And you could just very well just might have spooked. It could have been a situation where you spooked Leilani and made her run, or it could have been a situation where Leilani would have done something that she would not have done under stress. Or you could have had just, she could have been in the far, far chance. She could have been innocent. Let's just say, like, beyond, I don't think she was innocent, but, like, it's the same thing. And then you're harassing people in the neighborhood, and they're like a virus. They're just going all over the place now, affecting every single case they get. It gets some little press, and it's sickening.
Yeah, because like I said, the battle begins on that court trial. That's when the battle really starts. And convincing 12 jurors, that's when that's all families have left.
Yeah.
That's all they have left in the end. And you're going to take that from them.
Yeah. And they didn't even pay for his funeral. They didn't even pay for plans.
Yeah.
It's so sickening. And at the end of the day, they're going to move along, and that kid's going to be buried, and they're just going to go to the next case. They don't care. They don't care.
We got the ship got called, baby killer protectors, and we were like, no, we're Quentin protectors.
Listen, I said this online. I said this on a panel. I said, listen, the lady's guilty. I think she should get the death sentence. Absolutely. 100%. I'm let's get going. That's my belief. I have a very, very, very eye for an eye view on things. I even think.
Let's be real. Before they even rolled into Savannah, they were already in the land. They were already gearing up to go to the landfills.
Yeah.
Okay. And any common sense person will, why that particular dumpster? You know what I'm saying? Why that particular dumpster? Which tells anybody with a sense of, has a little bit of common sense. Oh, they know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they know.
And look at Vilomah. She showed Dolly's thumbnails. He literally, like, we were making fun of his teeth, and we said they look like the guy from that clown serial killer. He puts it on, but next to Gacy. And it's like, this guy has no respect for the victims. He has no respect for all the victims that were killed by this piece of shit serial killer, and he thinks it's a joke. It's like, I don't idolize that motherfucker.
Yeah, because he doesn't think about nobody but his pocketbook.
Yeah, look at
His
that.
wallet.
It's sickening. He's, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting you're making like Gacy some sort of idol in your picture, and it's sickening. And he sells shirts of serial killers, and I find that sickening as well, because I don't think serial killers are cool. I think they're the lowest form of human beings. If I had my way, we would just burn every single image of them, and we just like basically destroy anything.
Well,
that has
let's
them.
be honest, John. Let's be honest. Gacy would have him. He would be under the house, y'all.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. He would be
I mean,
done.
Gacy would have picked him up by the. Yeah. Yeah.
Level, which video? Where do I go to find it?
I get people are not sure about the death penalty, because it's like, you know, but in a way, like, my thought on that is that originally prisons were not meant for punishment. Originally, prisons in the early days of history were meant to hold you there until you got punished. So I don't think you living your full life in prison, even though your freedom's gone, you could still enjoy reading a book, watching a TV show, watching a movie, sleeping. You still enjoy your life. You still have a life. That person, you took their chance, you took their ability to even have to enjoy life. So that's why I think eye for an eye, like Hammurabi's code, take no more than an eye.
Well, and I also don't think we should wait 20 and 30 years for the death penalty. I mean,
Yeah.
I think once they're convicted, now come on now.
Yeah,
if justice moves that slow, then maybe they should have courts where that's all they hear is death penalty, appeals.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
And that's the thing. Like, she could, yeah, when you say maybe she can salvage some of her life, but you know what? She took that opportunity from her. If she's convicted, she's taken that opportunity from her kid. And to me,
Right.
like, you've taken that chance from someone else, so your chance should be taken from you as well. And that's my point of view. I know it's a very, very, very mean point of view. Like, I know it's not like soft-hearted, but I think justice should be a little bit harsh. If I had my way of the world, a lot of, like, even people that
Well, my thing is this: what does a person have to do to forfeit their right to walk amongst us?
Yeah, even in jail,
On the earth.
Yeah,
even on the earth.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want them in society with me.
Yeah, even like people with, like, the P's, those people, they should get the death sentence too. Sorry. I have like very little sympathy. The moment you get convicted, boom, you go. Bye.
That reforming and all that, no.
Yeah.
No.
Level-headed. What if you're still here? Will you pop up and show me which one, if you
What
don't
video?
care?
What video are you talking about?
He said that he made a video. He's got a video on his channel where he breaks it down. Let me find it again here quick.
Oh, breaks which sword down?
Like let me find the comment because I don't want to say it wrong. No, I don't blame you. Tell me what I can do right here. Tell me what I can do to help. On my channel, I explain a narrative about like the money aspect, and it's called driving a narrative, a false one.
Well, see, now we're having a problem with early release.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're having a problem with that, and they're getting out and they're committing. Yeah.
I mean, I was doing this. I was talking about I didn't know about that, but the Oakland child killer case was a crazy one. You should read that one up if you ever get a chance.
I'm not saying when you're young and you get jammed up, you rob a bank.
No. This was like literally,
I'm
like,
talking about these people that commit absolute atrocities.
No, the Oakland child killer case was about 4 kids that were kidnapped and then murdered, and then, like, literally, like, there was like an Epstein Island, like literally their own little island. There was a whole Chomo ring. And it was just, and literally, like one guy who's like was a suspect, he assaulted a whole baseball team of kids, and then strangled 2 kids and did 1 cigarette and like almost killed one in cigarette burns, and they only put him in the mental institution for a year and let him out.
What?
Yeah, that's the Oakland child killer, Gregory Green. It's like, it's a crazy case to look up. I mean, I'll toss you.
Well, Canada has that that man that's out that was a cannibalist.
Yeah.
He's just walking around, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, their system's a little bit different than ours. I think they have to check in with their people like a lot. However, he's still out in public. I mean, he's, you know,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
and he was a cannibalist.
Yeah.
I hope
So
Level didn't leave because he thought I wasn't looking at chat. I'm kind of out of it a little bit.
yeah, I said hi to him. He said hi back to me.
Yeah. Is this what you're talking about? This right here, B10?
The Oakland child killer case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's like it's a very. I read an article. It was like a huge one. It's like it would take you like 5 hours to go through because, like for instance, Sheldon was like he had an island and he pretended to this island was a charity for boys, and then he would get men to donate money. He was government funded, like a charity, and these guys, and then he'd get the boys and he'd take pictures of them and sell them to Amsterdam. The pictures of the boys, and the boys would get assaulted on the island. And then literally, like it's a long one. It's a very long one, but that's like a full one. And like what happened was eventually kids were getting disappeared. 2 girls and 2 boys. The boys were assaulted. The girls weren't. They were, you know, sophisticated. They you know, insist. I can't say the word. Stop
Sophisticated?
Breathing. No.
Asphyxiation.
Thank you. Asphyxiated. The third one was the second one was, I think, was shot in the head with a shotgun, and but that was only like a lot of people believe that was done because of the situation to cover up, like they thought that girl was still alive, that person. So anyway, they arrest the guy Christopher. Christopher was his first name. I'm trying to remember his last name. Bush. Christopher Bush, I think it was. Bush. They arrest him and Gregory after like 3 of the murders, and they go into his house. He has 2 shotguns, child pornography, ropes. He goes in and like he talks about how he was in the boys club or something like that, where he was just like in the same areas that he would basically pick up his victims, and he even openly admitted that he would just pick up these kids and do these things with other kids. And they let him out because his father was a GE representative, like a Zach. They made him. I said it was $75,000 bond. They gave him $1,000 bond, and basically a little over a month later, it's like, you know, basically another kid goes disappearing. Timothy King. I'm just going off my memory because it's a lot of details, and it's just like they just were like slap on the wrist with all the chomos. Every single chomo in that neighborhood. They just literally like they had a whole. They would just do like a little time, and that was it back then. And it was just they had to do like a congressional hearing to pass laws to like actually like put people in jail. Like, you know, it was just crazy.
It's nuts.
That's insane. I dropped the link in the chat for that.
I mean, do I believe there are truly people that are truly mentally insane? Yeah, I do. Those people are pitiful. You know, those people are pitiful. But these people that are true born, they know exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They have no empathy. They have psychopaths. Now,
They've
not all
perfected
psychopaths
it.
are killers. You know, not all psychopaths are killers. However, I'm talking about true people that know what they're doing. Manipulation and
premeditation.
They just don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I had this discussion. A lot of people think like, you know, I don't think people are born. I think like being born with it kind of makes you more prone, but I think it's your environment that turns you into like these characters. And that's why I believe that you should remove them from society, because once you remove these people from society, I think you'll have less of a chance of them infecting other people in their ways of like, because you notice that a lot, like when they go to a kid, that kid eventually has a higher chance of doing the exact same thing that was done to them. And it's either they get, you know, and it's a fucked up thing. And
well,
I
think it's let's say age 13 or 14, if they can get to them, you know, they can reform them. But there comes a certain point that there's no going back.
Yeah. And also the media plays. I was talking about Balenciaga. That was a crazy hit. The Balenciaga situation. That's crazy.
B10, what do you think about Jenny Jen's Troll Awards?
Jenny Jen's Troll Awards. I have not seen Jenny Jen's Troll Awards.
Okay. I'm going to play it for you here real quick. I want you to see. Maybe we can let people know about this.
All right. Who is the best troll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The troll of the year.
Yep.
That's a hard one.
Oh, there's 30 categories. She's really coming out with this. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good way to call people
now,
out.
Savage has awards as well, but it'll be done in the spring. It usually comes out in the spring. That's a big thing too. God, we work on that a month.
Oh yeah. That's a good one too. I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna mute and run to the bathroom quick and grab me some Tylenol. I'll be right back.
All right.
So let me show you how you vote.
That
So
biggest scammer, the biggest scammer and the biggest train wreck's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to nominate and see what happens.
Look at this, Val. She posted this 2 hours ago. There's 121 comments.
Yeah.
Damn. Biggest bully, Molly Golightly.
Really? I don't think she's the biggest bully. I think honestly the biggest bully has to go to Dolly.
What she'll do is like people like you go up under those categories and you nominate who you want.
Okay.
And then the night of the awards, like they'll have a poll, and they'll play the poll. They'll take those names and set the poll up.
Oh,
and you have and you'll have a certain amount of time to vote, and it'll be a live vote. So everything's out front and then open. You see?
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's actually a good idea, actually.
Looks like Michelle's going to be nominated for a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah. Who's going against her? Anybody's going against?
Let's see. I'll start up here at the top. Biggest bully so far looks like Molly Golightly. Biggest crybaby.
Is there anybody else in there besides Molly?
Michelle. Spirit Finder.
What is Jaundice in there?
I'm sure he is somewhere. Biggest
if
crybaby.
If he's not, and you want to nominate him, roll over and nominate.
I wonder what we nominate him as the most boring streamer. Can we nominate him for that?
If there's a category, I guess.
Jaundice for all. Biggest crybaby. I nominated his ass. You little bitch.
That guy.
Biggest train wreck. Michelle Goes Live has this one down pats.
Really? I would say Hash Brown. Hash Brown's always a fucking train wreck.
Oh yeah, she should be in there somewhere.
Like that response. Yeah, that response she made to fucking. That was just
don't
crazy.
Get me started, man. Oh yeah.
Like, lady, you're out of your mind. Like, if
biggest
someone like
scammer, Michelle.
Yeah, if someone actually, if the mother of a possible murder, because I don't want to say it's confirmed yet, because there's always hope, a possible murder victim is asking you to just do something, like a favor, a small one, you think, do it. But my God, her ego is just so fucking huge.
Look at this. Best troll. Every vote. Blank screen.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
I
God.
think she's
Worst
gonna have it
panel guest.
running. She's gonna have it running 3 days or 4 days? What's
No, she got it all the way through through December 26th.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Worst panel guest. Michelle.
I
Gray
thought
pill.
you were gonna say me.
No.
Worst panel guest.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Best panel guest.
Right.
Vilomah. Oh, they got Savage. Let's see. Best rant. We got to come up with that one. Best duo.
I saw Bombshell. What's the situation with Bombshell?
She's a scamming ass bitch.
Oh, okay, because the only time I seen Bombshell was when she did that. She was talking to Jim Terry and Perplex. Was that the same Bombshell?
Probably.
Okay.
She's the only bombshell I know on this freaking platform. She's a whole waste of space, man. $3,500 later, she's a bitch and 100% a scamming ass bitch.
Yeah, I rant. I do rant. I really ranted with the Valencia situation. That got me so
It owes me $3,500.
Okay, Vilomah, I gotta get off here.
Okay,
I'm
love.
being summoned.
I got you.
Have a good one.
I got you.
Bye.
I'm not going to be on
guys.
too long.
All right.
Thank you, Vala. Love you, girl.
Love you.
Bye.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Valencia thing?
No, I don't even know who that is.
Basically, it's a fashion line. It's like one of those fashion lines, and they got into big controversy because they put 2 kids, 6-year-old, like 6 or 6 to 10, I think, holding a bondage teddy bear and other things around them. And then they did a second shoot where they had a kid in a room with like a tape that said ball and like a red face, and then like literally like a devil thing in the background, like picture, like kid drawing. And then they got into bigger trouble because they had the adult photo shoot. They had a purse there, and then they had the ruling, like a court document showing a little bit, and it was a ruling about child pornography being free speech, court ruling. And then they had a book in the background called this artist that did this art called Child in the Sun or something like that. And basically it showed children in the artwork on fire or bloody.
My God.
And they put that up there. And the person, they have like controversy, this company, like the CEO of the company owns Christie, because it's Kering owns a bunch of companies. And Christie sold a art piece called F Face, and it has a child, a 4-year-old child with a penis on his nose.
Oh my God.
And it's like really sickening, this Valencia people, and they're like into like some really dark stuff, the people in the art world. It's fucked up.
Good fucking God.
Yeah, I would not.
Why are they
Yeah, like I seen it. It was like I saw the art piece. I showed it to Tony, and he's like, "I can't show this. This is disgusting." And it's like, "Yeah, that's our art piece was disgusting." They sold it for $140,000.
Excuse me. Oh wow.
Yeah, this art piece. I'll show you the art piece. If you don't want to see, I won't show it to you. But if you want to see, I'll show it in the back chat to you. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the motherfucker did. I'll put him on the radar.
No, the art piece is like the CEO owns the thing. It's called. Let me see.
Good God, these people. Kim Kardashian's kids were involved.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know too much. It's called Jake and Dino Chapman, and the thing is that the CEO who owns Kering and also owns Christie's allowed this piece to be sold. And I wouldn't show it on the screen. I'm just showing you in the back chat. You can look at it.
Right.
But this is an art piece that was sold.
Oh my God. People are fucking disgusting on every level, man.
So they
This-
allowed, yeah, it's pretty bad.
This world has just gone way too fucking far.
Yeah, and like the woman, like the art director, the person, the art director has like fucked up things on it's like kids with like,
Oh my God.
yeah. That the whole Valencia thing is like crazy.
Jesus criminy. See, why do we have people like this walking amongst us?
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't understand it.
Well, they do like a shock campaign, and they just have no fucking clue what. Yeah, they just like they go fucking disgustingly too far. But here's the Instagram lady. This is one of the art directors of the company, and she deleted her Instagram. But here's the article, and you can just look at it in the back. Don't show it, but here's in the back chat. You can just look at like she has like a child with tape bondage in her hands, and she has like a bunch of like children on her Instagram, and Instagram didn't delete this lady's Instagram having all this crazy shit on there.
My
It's like,
God.
and this lady's like the art director, so like it's fucked.
Oh wow. If you guys want me to drop that in the chat, I will. The link to it, but I'm not going to show it on here because it's
Yeah, I
pretty
wouldn't show.
vulgar.
I mean, I had to
No,
go through
yeah,
it.
never.
But yeah.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, there's people like pretty evil. But yeah, I mean, and then they did a fashion show, and the fashion show. My daughter was one of them told me about this last week. Yes, Kim is involved. Yeah, Kim was involved. She quit like the company. I think she made a statement like 6 days later. She's like into the fashion with I don't know. Personally, the lady's worth $1 billion. I don't know why she needs more money, but you know, I would probably be happy with a few million, but you know, some people need $1 billion. You know?
Good God.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the link in the chat. Enter at your own risk. I put a trigger warning with it. But
yeah,
I think it's important to show people, or especially parents, that
yeah,
this is the shit going on.
Yeah, and this company, Valencia, is just one of the companies owned by Kering. Like Kering, if you go to Wikipedia and you look at Valencia, it's pretty crazy. They own like they own like a bunch of companies. Like all the fashion companies are basically owned by Kering.
There's so many things wrong with that shit.
Yeah.
Like so many things are wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I'm typing in the chat right here. I'm gonna schedule, unless I'm in the hospital or something, I'm gonna schedule a private viewing of the Casey Anthony series that just came out.
Cool.
I can have up to 10 because we can't stream it. Excuse me.
Are you okay? You said you're in the hospital. You're going to the hospital?
I might have to. My aneurysm has gotten big, and I've got
I'm sorry about that.
Really bad headaches, and my head's numb and feels swollen on like the left side of my head. I went to the doctor this morning and had blood tests and stuff. It's a matter of the railroad refusing. It has to be an emergency, they say, for me to.
Oh, that's fucked.
Right. 10 ways from Sunday.
I'm sorry about that. Hope you feel better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've just been taking it easy. But I had some emails from new people that came in, and I wanted to kind of let them know I'm reading them as I can. When my head starts pounding, I just go lay down. The doctor sent me with the blood pressure cuff and all of that stuff to keep an eye on my vitals. And if the headache gets so severe that it's worse than like a normal migraine for me, I have to go straight to the ER. But I think I'll be okay. I think it's just.
Wow, I'm kind of sorry I showed you this photo because I could imagine your head had just got like 10 times worse showing you those things.
Oh no, it comes and goes. It's I took some medicine. I've been taking Tylenol and Motrin and Excedrin, and I had some Imitrex. I've just been rotating.
That's a
not
lot.
Not all at once. I rotate them when I need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it worse, but
Have you tried coffee?
Yeah, I drank a cup and a half, like a large cup and a half earlier today. I just opened a Mountain Dew about 20 minutes ago. thinking that maybe it was caffeine was contributing to it, but I can feel it coming because I'll start to get like a little short of breath. And then I get like a real bad headache on the left side. I get like the black spots on my peripheral vision.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel
But
better.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Geez, Louise.
Appreciate it.
So I guess you're jumping down. Well,
yeah, I'm going to end here real quick.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me up and having a good conversation
Absolutely.
with you. It's always a pleasure.
Anytime. Yeah, anytime, B-Tim. You're always welcome here for sure. 100%. I enjoy having you, and I always respect your opinion. I always enjoy what you bring with conversation. You always really do give me a different perspective.
No problem.
Almost all the time we agree. You just give me that man's perspective a lot of times that I wouldn't see otherwise. So I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. No problem. You feel better, okay, Vilomah?
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end. I'm gonna go lay down. Bad order said, saw a crow out and about and thought of you, Lee. Every time I see bird videos, I think of Lee. Yeah, I'll probably do a live stream after that, but I can't stream it because then I'll get a strike. So I can do multiple streams of it for anybody who wants to, but I have access to Peacock. My brother actually has Peacock and I have his login information, so I can do multiples. I figured most people have already seen it, but I'll know tomorrow if I can get the medication for this head stuff or if I have to go straight to the hospital or whatever. But in any case, within the next few days, we'll be able to do it. And then, we can do a live about it after that. There's a lot of people that maybe weren't able to watch it. So I figured we could do like a private stream and just watch all 3 episodes. I haven't watched it. I wanted to watch it with everybody here. So if you're interested, just shoot me an email and then we'll figure out what day and time and stuff works best. And we'll just stream it and watch it. I'm okay, Lee. The aneurysm's gotten a little bit bigger and I'm getting I'm starting to have like side effects from it now. It's 27 millimeter, whatever. 27 is the number that they gave me. It was 23. It was 17 4 months ago, and it was 20 something. I can't remember offhand. I try not to think about it a lot, but just kind of being ugly. The railroads being ugly about their, what they'll pay for. Hospitals today just won't let you come in, be admitted unless your insurance is straight. And it's crazy because I've paid over $1 million into my railroad tier, my tier 2, tier 3, tier 1. I mean, I've paid so much fucking money into it. My own insurance, but they won't take it because, it happened at work. Well, that's what my doctor. So I went to, because I couldn't get to my my neuro specialist. He sent me to the hospital to have the tests, my local hospital. My neuro doctor is like 2 hours away, so he sent me to the local hospital where they did the tests and blood work and all that stuff. My regular doctor was going to put the order in, but because it's a work injury, it gets sticky. If it gets worse and I go to the ER, obviously, it has to be an emergency for me to do anything about it. It's just a mess with the railroads. It's indicative of everything in the news right now with what they're doing. Yeah, if it gets worse, I'll go. I'm not gonna hesitate with it. I've got too much work left on this planet here to do. I tried every which way I could today, to get something done about it. Doctor called in the medications, and then the railroad insurance all of a sudden just said, no, we're not covering you anymore. So it's just a big political game that they're playing with people. that are injured because of their own unsafe working conditions. It's just a mess. Just a mess. The best thing that could happen, it's looking like that's not going to be allowed. The government is going to make these guys and girls go to work regardless. And if they miss a day, they're going to get fired. They won't hire more. It's just a mess. I'll tell you what, there's this channel that I follow because they have the most information that's detailed for people who let me find it quick, for people who aren't familiar with like railroad language, but he breaks it down pretty good, and I follow him. Railroad Talk, here it is. I'll drop this link. He no longer works for the railroads, so now he can openly talk about what's going on. He can say the things that the rest of us aren't able to say right now. And he's got some short videos on there that can really explain in more detail. I promise you I will. I promise you I will. I just didn't want people who had sent me emails and stuff to think I was ignoring them. I'm reading them and trying to reply to them when my eyes aren't burning. It's like the politics behind being a railroader. See, we don't pay into, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it the best way. When you work for the railroad, class 1 railroads, you don't pay into workers' comp, disability, social security. We have private insurance and things like that. We pay into the railroad retirement board. Tier 1 is my retirement. Tier 2 is my spouse's retirement if I have one. And Tier 3 is for all of the others. So if you get hurt on the job, the railroad is supposed to provide all your medical care through their insurance company. I'm not allowed to use my regular medical insurance. It has to go through their insurance. So they have to agree on the doctor. It's like having a workers' comp doctor, but it's a little bit worse because if you look up the Federal Employment Liability Act, FELA, the FELA laws, that's what our medical care is governed under, is the FELA laws. So it has to be a FELA doctor. There has to be FELA attorneys. There has to be FELA everything. So most doctors are familiar with workers' comp and they assume FELA and workers' comp are like the same thing. We used to have doctors solely for railroaders, but we don't have those anymore. So the railroad, I can't use my regular insurance. They've canceled it because I've been a year without working off, on medical. So they illegally canceled it. On top of that, they're supposed to provide all my medical care. And so because my accident was so severe, because it was on video and audio, the whole thing, everything was recorded. And because of all the stuff all the games and just the stupid stuff that they've done since the accident happened, they're doing everything they can. They cut your pay, your sick pay benefits, your tier 3 that you've paid into. The Railroad Retirement Board has to work with me and the railroad. The railroad doesn't want to pay anything that they don't have to pay, so they play the games. So then they stop your sick pay. They've never paid me sick pay. They've fought that battle since day one. They tried to starve you out by not allowing any kind of an income. And the second thing that they do is they try to deny all of your medical care. We have on record a railroad official saying that they would much rather deal with a family member of a deceased railroader than a railroader. It's very political, very ugly. They don't want the safety record because it affects their competition with marketing and other railroads. They don't want the safety record because then the federal government pays more attention with inspections. things like that. They would just rather someone die. And if the accident alone doesn't kill them, then they try to keep you in pain and misery. Thankfully, I've had savings accounts, and my brother and his family have been very helpful. But it's just been an uphill battle. And I haven't really been scared of anything until now. You know, before it was just kind of like pain is pain. I can figure it out. But when it comes to, you know, like an aneurysm in your head, giving you migraines and blurred vision and numb and tingly, just sucks. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. 7 years ago, yeah. Been in court the 5 years. It's got medical insurance in July. I felt like they're waiting for me to die. Yeah, it's what they want. I mean, we've got we've got a recorded call where they actually say it. It's because we know how much money they make. We see the bills of lading and all of that stuff. We see the stocks, we see the tickers. Family members usually see the paychecks and they know that they're taken care of, and it's just a political game right now. But yeah, there's so many of us and we can't speak. You know, we can't speak until till after. And I filed federal, which gave them 3 years from the day of the accident. And their time is approaching. And I'm going to make it till then. I'm not, you know, ain't nothing like that. If it gets worse, I'm going to go to the hospital. And they'll have to do something because it'll be quote unquote emergency at that point. But I just didn't want people to think I was ignoring or avoiding them, because I'm not. When I can look at the monitor, I do. I will get back to everyone. I promise that. But I gotta get off here for now and go lay down. I can feel it getting dizzy and nummy again. So I'll check back in tomorrow sometime. And hope everybody has a good night and a good day tomorrow. Bad order, I'm with you. All the people that have losses going on right now, I have not thought about anything except what you're going through. So I appreciate everybody very much. I love you too. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, I